Hey legends, welcome along to another little video in this little creation series that I'm doing here for the first timer getting into content creation, whether it be YouTube, indie film, you name it. If you're going to set yourself down in front of a camera, I have made quite a few mistakes along the way, and I've got some good stories along with some horror stories, and I'm going to give you all of them so that when you're starting out, you'll not trip over and fall quite as bad as I did back in the day. Now, this one here, the first and best payment you're going to make online when it comes to content creation, it's not financial. I've said that in the last video. Don't be getting into it for the money. You could be, well, could be, there's no could be about it. You will invest more money into this than you make for a long time. That's all good. You know, we all want to be the sorts of people that can make videos, podcasts, and maybe make a little bit of a living from it. You know, maybe replace part of that wage if possible, but don't let that be your motivating factor. The best payment you're going to get, and I have got this from videos on YouTube from time to time. It's always, whenever you're making an impact on someone, it feels good to be appreciated, and something you say or something you create will help someone. That's what it should be all about as well. That's the best payment to get from your content. Not just YouTube. Two examples of the short films that I made. I talked about, from time to time, I've talked about Conclusions, the mental health awareness short film. Let's just call it that. I got a comment from a guy that the film hit home for, and he thanked me for making it, and he says it's a place where he was, and it just made him feel good that someone else was able to put it into perspective and put it out there for someone to relate to. So that was good. That was one of the best. Another short film that I worked on, and we all bounce in and out of this short film once in a while because there's a couple of horror stories involved with this other one. It's not one of my own. It's one that I was director and editor on. It's called Weapon of Choice. And this one here was based around domestic violence. And the guy that wrote it had written it as like a dark comedy as well. There were some aspects of it in there what were, inappropriately funny in a way. Whenever you come up to the end of the short film, you get the punchline to what he was going for. But I directed the film. I put it together in the best way that I felt. Whenever I edit something or direct something, I come at it from an emotional perspective, and just you read the script, get it into your head, and just the way that it'll emotionally hit me while I'm reading it is the way I'll go to it whenever I'm directing it and editing as well. As a director, I was going to go down another path there, but I'm not going to do it in this video. Something just came to me there about directing and editing. It's more my style of doing things, but that's not for this video. This is about the good payment, the payouts for the stuff that you're doing. This one in particular, I was putting it together, and as the director and editor, I had a vision for it, but I wanted to run it past particularly the guy that was the writer on it, Guy Philip Henry, and I wanted to run it by some of the edits that I was doing, like the first edit, and then get some notes off him, give it a little bit of a trim down or anything added that he felt would need to be there. It's one of these things that's you can't be selfish on it. You need to take in the perspective of everybody involved in it. That's a big way of me directing as well, especially when it comes to actors, and that I let them have more free rein than a lot of directors would normally have, or let their actors have. But again, that's something for another video. But it was getting the edit to this guy and the people involved, and what do you think of this? Any changes? What would you recommend? Like, it's just pretty much the first edit I did was pretty much the final edit at the end of the day. Everybody was happy enough of it. It was just a couple of extra pickup scenes we had to get in there, just some things to tie up the loose ends of one scene leading into the other. There's a couple of shots that were added into it, probably about 7 or 8 seconds worth of footage, but getting it out to these guys was the problem. And I stuck it on to YouTube at that stage, and not the final form. Like, I don't think well, actually at this point the music wasn't even created for it, and I put the short film up online. I had it unlisted and whatnot. I wasn't sure at that stage the right setting to put it under. Normally, if I stick anything to YouTube, it's flat out public for everybody to ingest with their eyeball sockets. But this one here, I had it. I can't remember what the setting was. I had it on. I was trying to keep it as private as possible, bar the people that wanted to see it. But I sent it to a guy. He couldn't get it to play, and I swapped it over from it was either private or unlisted, you know what I'm talking about. But whatever happened, this guy couldn't see it, and he says, okay, how long's the film? I was like, gosh, I can't even remember now. As I say, it's not one of my own. I don't have it on my website. The guy that was producing it has it on his page. But I told him, I was, look, this film is about 11 minutes long, I want to say. Could be slightly off there. It's been quite a bit, like 2015, 2016 we made this. I said, okay, I'm going to put it public for 15 or 20 minutes. Watch it now and text me whenever you see it. Let me know your feelings, and I'll put it back in private, whatever, blah, blah, blah. That was it. So I published the video, and a couple of days later, published the video, left it for 20 minutes. The guy texts me, put it in private again. A couple of days later, I get a message from this woman, and she's like, what do you do with that short film? I was trying to show it to a friend of mine that I thought would be interested in it, so explain the situation to her, blah blah blah. You know, I was up for this, that, and the other, but I had to put it in private again. We're not putting the final cut up anywhere for a while yet to get the music and everything done. It is what it is. And a little bit after that, turns out that this girl that had texted me, asked me where the movie was at, was actually, it turns out she was in an abusive relationship where the boyfriend was beating on her and whatnot. And after watching the short film and what happened in it, she actually plucked up the courage to pack this guy's bags and kick him out of the house and get him out of her life. So that was an insanely good reward from that short film. As I say, that short film has its upsides and its downsides for me. It's part of the reason why I don't have it on my website. But that's another video for another time when you're getting into this sort of stuff. It's never quite as straightforward as you're expecting when you start out doing this sort of stuff, but those two payouts, as far as the short films go, someone that was in the mental headspace where conclusions jumped out and spoke to them, really made them feel heard, fantastic. This woman that was in a violent relationship with an abusive boyfriend, finally getting the courage after watching something that me and a group of friends essentially had created and put out there online. So no financial comeback from either one of those films up to this point. As I say, 2016, we're in 2022 right now, but it's that sort of stuff. You know, it's the people that be affected by your stuff in a positive way, makes it feel really, really good. And something as simple as a comment on a YouTube video makes a creator's day. You know, yes, it is what it is. I love it. I just wish I could do more of it. I'll talk to you in the next episode.